G'day fellas, how you going? So this weekend I was down in Melbourne for a convention called Madfest. Now Madfest is a convention that I've really enjoyed over the years, and this weekend was no different. But this weekend I did a panel about confidence, cosplay and you. The panel itself was about if you're nervous about doing cosplay itself or just generally talking to people. I gave a little bit of a talk about how it can help to just be a bit more confident, some ways in which you could actually accomplish this, and how it can kind of help with not just making costumes but also in your personal life itself. So if this sounds like something that you might be interested in, then just keep watching because I'm going to talk about it right now. Everyone has their own reasons to want to try and be confident, whether it's to get up on stage and speak like this, whether it's to just wear a cosplay out to a convention, or whether it's just to walk up to a stranger and just say hi. But for whatever reason, everybody kind of wants to push themselves to go a bit further. And hopefully today, you're not going to go from 0 to 100 straight away, but it'll at least hopefully encourage you to do the things that you really want to do without hating yourself at the end of the day. That's really the goal at the end of it. So, first things first, you might think, who's this guy who looks like he's just stepped on a big bug and bled all over the place? My name's Jeremy. I go by the online tag of mangalphantom. You might have seen some of my stuff around. I'm obviously not a public speaker about confidence and all that la-di-da, but I have been doing cosplay for the better part of about 10 years or so, and it's taught me quite a bit about cosplay itself and quite a lot about myself as well. So hopefully you guys will be able to relate to bits and pieces of it or realise something about yourself that you might not have known before. For anyone who is kind of still keen, if you've got your phone out, actually pull out your phone for me if you can. And once you've got your phone out, pull out Instagram. And I know you've got it. If you don't say you don't have it, you're lying to me, because I know you do. And once you've got out Instagram, what I want you to do is pull out the profile of your favourite cosplayer, whoever that might be. It can be a male, it can be a female, it doesn't really matter. And yes, some of you might have pulled up something like maybe Kamui cosplay, or maybe Katyuska Moonfox, maybe some Leon Shiro, some sexy muscles in there. But what I want you to do is look at that profile, take a quick scroll through it, and just think to yourself, oh, this is my favourite cosplayer. They're wonderful, they're amazing. And, quite right you are. But if you look at the person next to you, or maybe the person behind you, you look at them, ask them quickly, do you know this cosplayer? Just ask them quickly. Okay, hand up if they actually knew who the cosplayer was. Not too many hands going up. What that person's actually thinking is, oh, this person sucks. They're not really thinking that, but they obviously haven't heard of the cosplayer, and that's fine. But the point I'm trying to make here in this particular case is not everybody is going to know you, and not everybody is going to like you. And the first point I want to get across today is not everyone's going to like you, but that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is mostly aimed at those people who, thinking about starting cosplay, or they're getting negative comments online, or, they're finding it really hard to just talk to people, get to know people. And it's stopping you from wanting to actually go out there and do these kinds of things. So the first thing you've got to realise is, number one, not everyone's going to like you. That's fine, because there's going to be somebody who likes you. And I'm not just talking about your mother. So you're not going to get along with everybody, but you will get along with somebody. So the first thing you could do is just kind of accept that as fact, saying, oh, no one likes me. I'm just going to walk around the convention by myself and hopefully someone will talk to me, and maybe I'll make a friend that way, because I'm kind of afraid that no one's going to like the person that I am. But you can either accept that or kind of do something about it. And the first thing you can kind of think about is, say there were, 10 people lining up in a line. You didn't know any of them, and you had the opportunity to go and say hi to all of them. But you talk to the first person and they're going to say something like, oh, you're creepy. And you're like, oh, my heart, I can't take it. Then you go up to the second person and you say hi. And they think, oh, this guy's weird. Oh, my heart can't take it.
And it goes like that, number 3, number 4, number 5, all the way up to number 9. And by number 9, your heart hurts so much, you're like, oh, I can't do it. I've had enough heartbreak and rejection for today, I'm not going to talk to anybody else. But little do you know, the possibility, the 10th person could be someone you get along really well with. It could be someone that you connect with really, really well and you can become really good friends with them. So it's not really about, saying, oh, majority of people hate me, therefore everybody hates me. It's more just about there's going to be certain people who don't like you and there's going to be certain people who do like you. But what you do have to kind of tell yourself is just say, screw it, I'm awesome, and I know that. And that's what you really should be telling yourself, because it's true. Don't be sad that you're not going to get along well with everybody that you meet, because it's not going to be that way. Different people get along well because of chemistry between them. So I might get along well with somebody here, not well with someone there. So if I went to talk to someone out in the crowd today and just say, hey, how are you going, blah, 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 they might think, oh my God, this guy's awesome, he just keeps talking, he's got so many cool stories to tell. It's really fun to hang around. And we get along really well. But at the same time, I could talk to somebody else and they're like, oh my God, who's this bloodied freak? He's just too noisy, he just won't shut up, I just want to get away really quickly. And there's going to be people like that. And I'm not thinking, oh my God, he doesn't like me, oh. Just, you will find people who like you, and you will find people who don't. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, just because you can't be good friends with somebody, don't take as a fact that, you're a bad person or you're a bit weird to get along well with. Sure, you might be weird, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Which will bring me to the second point. The first one is, not everyone's going to like you. That's completely fine. The second part is to actually not be afraid to be yourself. All right, quick show of hands to whoever's still around. Who likes Ed Sheeran? Hand up. A few people. Second question. Who likes the Backstreet Boys? I'm surprised there's more Backstreet Boy fans than Ed Sheeran. Anyway, who actually knows who the Backstreet Boys still are? Oh wow, they're doing well. Anyway, I love the Backstreet Boys. They are one of my favourite groups, and more often than not I do get looks like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? But I don't care. The point here is you can like the Backstreet Boys, you can like Ed Sheeran, you can like One Direction, you can like whoever the hell you want and rock it, and people can't be going, oh, who's that? You're weird, because if you like something so much, you own something so much, people are going to think, you know what, maybe that group's not too bad. Maybe what their hobby is not so bad. So, probably a good example of this is if you look at friends in your social circle. You might be thinking, oh, there's this person I hang out with who is really, really fun to hang out with. You probably have got one in your group of friends, you're thinking, oh, I love hanging around this person. Every time they come, it's always a party. I always feel really good and happy. And there's always going to be somebody like that. And that person can also be you, believe it or not. And you might be thinking, oh, but this person, they're really good at sports, they're really outgoing, they've got lots of money, they've got a really good job, whatever it might be. And you might be thinking, oh, I have to be a really high value person to do that. I have to be someone who cosplays a lot. I have to be like Pugofka, she's here today, she's amazing. And I've got to be someone like Sly, who licenses anime. And he's like, oh my God, I love Sly, he licenses anime. I love this person because they do cosplay. So you might be thinking, oh, does that mean I have to go into some big cosplay competition or get some high profile job for people to see me as a high value person? That's not necessarily the case. It's just somebody who is fun, someone who's outgoing, someone who's confident, someone who's bubbly, someone who's not afraid to love everything about themselves and then just convey that to everybody else. Because you can kind of look at the person who is that high value person, you like getting sucked into their energy and having a great time, or you could even just create that yourself. You yourself can be that high value person by just loving everything that you do and loving everything that you want to convey to people as well, and not being afraid of it. That high value person, they're not going to be seeking reactions from others, they're going to be happy just doing their own thing. They're going to be someone who's sociable, someone who's positive, and someone who's confident. So the bottom line here is it doesn't really matter what other people think. If you love doing cosplay, you love doing cosplay. Doesn't matter what everybody at work thinks, doesn't matter what your parents think, because it's something that you love doing. If you love a particular series and all your friends say, oh, that series is weird, I don't like it, who cares? You love it, you can convey that message, you're going to find other people as well who like the things you like. And it's okay to have a different opinion. This would bring me to a story about a friend that I know who was so hesitant because they really, really cared about what other people thought about them. As a friend, I went to university with in my first year, and by that stage, had been doing cosplay for 3 or 4 years, and I said, yeah, this is really fun. We should cosplay together sometime. And they said, oh, I'd love to cosplay. There's one character I'd love to do. I think it was something from One Piece or something, but she said, oh, but I don't know, like, my parents don't really like the thought of me dressing up. My friends think it's weird. And then I said, oh, look, we'll do it together. I'll cosplay Luffy and we'll go together. It'll be really fun and we'll have a great time. And they're like, oh, no, I don't know. I don't know what people are going to think of me. And I said, well, that's fine. I kept on trying to convince her, but it never happened in the end, and she never ended up going to the convention. Come the second year of university, we were having another chat, and there's another convention coming up, and I said, hey, how about we do that cosplay this year, You're a bit more of your own person, a bit more independent, do what you want to do. And they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to second year of accounting, and nothing against accountants. Second year of accounting, and it's going to be a lot of work. Don't know what's going to be like for my future job prospects, and Long story short, she kept on doing this every single year. There's always something coming up, whether it's people thinking something about her, thinking that people are going to think something about her, or too busy for this, or looking for a job, too busy with a job, care what other people think. No one really cares about what you're doing with your life. They're really concerned about, oh my God, is that person looking at me? I'm just going to keep walking over here. But it's the same where you're walking out in public and you see something odd. The most that's going to happen is you're going to look up for a second and go back to playing on your phone. And that's all that's really going to happen for the most part. So same thing with people at work. Like, oh, this person's got a cool hobby. Back to doing their work. Oh, this person likes watching this TV show. Back to watching my own TV show. Just don't be afraid to be you, do the things that you want to do, because not everyone cares as much as you think. And that's not a bad thing. Care about the things that you want to do, and I guarantee you'll be able to do a lot more things with yourself. And the third thing I want to bring up, apart from, it's okay for not everyone's like you, because there will be someone who does. Don't be afraid to be yourself. The third part is something a bit more practical called just try it. You might be thinking, oh, it's still weird. How didn't I just try it? It's easier said than done. Like, no one just gets up and wears a costume and just walks out in public. Yes, they do. Yes, they really do. What's something that has helped me is something called a best case, worst case scenario, in which the worst case scenario of what you think might happen probably isn't as bad as you think. So, for example, if we were to wear a costume, up on stage, parade it around, and think what everyone thinks. You might think, okay, worst thing that could happen is I can walk up on stage, and people just stare at me, and they laugh a little bit, and then I walk off stage. And I feel triggered. I'm going to feel terrible because people didn't react the way that I wanted them to. But this, I will tell you, is the real worst case scenario. You walk up on stage and you throw up. And then as you're trying to get off stage, people are laughing at you, your pants fall down, you trip off the stage, land on your nose, you've got a bloody nose, then you're running off to the bathroom to try to fix yourself up. As you go by, there's your grandma. And your grandma's going, what? And then they start laughing at you too, and start pointing, and everyone's laughing at you and pointing as you're running on by. You go to the bathroom and the mirror's broken, and you just have to hide in the cubicle until the end of the day. That's the real worst case scenario. But it's ridiculous, right? And it's more than unlikely to ever occur. The real worst case scenario in that case is you saying, I'm afraid of what everyone's going to think, I'm not going to go up on stage, and you just go home and you say to yourself, I wish I'd gotten up on stage to try it. In hindsight, getting up on stage, having a few people clap, having a few people not know who you are, is really not that bad. So you can apply that to just about anything you do, whether it be a job interview, whether it be doing a cosplay competition, even just walking up to talk to a person. The worst you can do is just throw up on the person in front of you that you're trying to talk to, run away crying and everyone's laughing at you, but what's going to happen is, you talk to them, you don't get along so well, you have a nice day, and that's it. It's really not that bad if you think about it in hindsight. The worst thing you could do is not talk to anybody. Walk around the whole con, see some people who look like they're into the same series as you. You can have a great conversation with them, make some friends. The possibility of a really good situation heavily outweighs, something that could not really happen. So give it a try. It's really not as terrible as you think. And even if that's the case and you think to yourself, oh, I still don't know how I'm going to do it, give yourself a time limit of about 1 month. It's not a long time, it's not a lot out of your life. So say you wanted to make something. You might say, oh, I do want to try and make some costumes. I do want to try and make something one day, but I can't do it because it just looks too hard. I see people online doing it and think, yeah, I can do it, but the fact is, people are going to pick up things at different paces. Some people are going to pick it up really quickly, some people are going to take a bit longer. And that's fine, just do things at your own pace. If after 1 month, you give it a real hot, solid go, at the end of it you say, I tried, I feel terrible, this is not worth it, you've tried it, you know it. But I guarantee, after that 1 month, you're going to be in a much better spot than you were a month ago when you didn't do anything about it. So, you can't say, I've tried it when you really haven't. If you try something, you fail miserably, we've got something we can refer to. So, you made a costume, it was awful. Okay, I know what I did awful. What's the next one going to be like? I went up and tried to talk to somebody. They looked at me and gave me weird looks. Okay, I'm not going to talk to that person in the way I did this time. I'm going to try and approach them a little bit differently. You'll be able to improve on something if you just give it that very first step. Just dive in, give it a shot. Don't be afraid to jump in a pool, flounder around a bit and try to swim, or just tip your toe a bit at a time. It's not going to happen. Jump in, give it a shot, and you'll be surprised at the results that you see. So overall, it's not something that's going to make you want to get up on stage and talk about something for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, wondering if anyone's going to listen to it. But at the start, it's just, don't worry if nobody likes you, because there will be somebody who likes you, and don't be thinking that's a bad thing. And don't be afraid to be yourself. Just be everything, like everything that you love, and don't be afraid to show that off. And thirdly, just try it. 1 month. The red hot solid go. And do amazing things, and get the things that you want to get out of life just by not holding yourself back. And finally, I'll just leave you with one little point. Who reads books these days? No. Everyone's hands went down. I do highly encourage you guys to go to a bookstore, and it's been a #1 seller for a while. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Flip. Big bright orange cover. It's by a dude called Mark Manson, and it's basically telling you, or giving you some little bits and pieces of how not to care so much in a bit of a longer format. And he brings up a really good point in there called certainty is the enemy of growth. Now what does that mean? It means two things. If you're certain about something, it's going to be bloody boring. And second thing is, nothing is certain. Nothing is certain until it is happening or until it has happened. So that's going to be it with a lot of things, whether it can be approaching someone new, not wondering how they're going to talk to you, whether it be getting up on stage, not wondering how people are going to react to you. But being wrong or being doubtful about something, ironically, is a very good thing. Once you recognise that, you walk up to it and you challenge it, you'll encounter a really bad situation. But when you're in the midst of that bad situation and you challenge it, that's the point in which your self-confidence can truly grow. So if you're feeling nervous about something, think, hey, this is a good point in which I can challenge myself and do it. Good. All right, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Put a little song for you.
Hey?
Is it okay to finish with a different song?
Yeah, go for it.
Backstreet Boys.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah?
That's perfect. Thank you for that.